The door clicked, the latch pushed forward, and Zara smiled that polite smile that never reached the eyes. "This is where you are going to live now," she said. 4 square meters, a narrow bed, a mini window to the garage wall. In the evening of the same day, I decided to sell the whole house, while the next Thursday in the city, she wanted to pick out curtains. My name is Ramona, I am Binzig, and until recently, I lived in our old Wilhelminian villa in Hanover. After Harold's funeral, every room suddenly seemed too big, every chair had its shade. My son Stefan often called, asked if I was eating, if I was sleeping. "Move in with us," he said at one point. "Zara makes the guest days comfortable for you." Guest days, I thought. When I arrived, Zara led me past the perfectly designed living room, over the granite of the kitchen, down the hall, and opened the door to the nest, which she thought was a safe security in old age. 4A-D small rhymes, calm down, she explained. It is in every guide. The rules came at the fish fillet in the evening, quietly from 21 o'clock, reserved for you and Stefan on kitchen weekdays until 8:30 o'clock. Laminated bath times and attached to the board with a magnet. For me, there were 3 time slots every day, and if it is urgent, there is the guest toilet under the stairs, narrow as a train compartment. If the grandchildren Emma Jacob were there, they should have dad time in the basement playroom. When Emma wanted to show me a drawing, Zara pushed her back with a mild smile. "Grandma is resting." I did not rest. I was counting. Rules, looks, phrases that sound like caring and feel like captivating. At night I heard through the thin wall. "She forgets things," Zara said. "Mrs. Kruger next door is worried." Stefan muttered something about clarification, about just for safety. On the 3rd morning, I got up early and walked around the house when Zara was at Pilates. The kitchen smelled of lemon and control. In the study, officially taboo because of home office, I found a portfolio of project support. It contains printouts about dementia, home brochures of the Lindenhof residence, emails with a Dr. Peterman for a discreet home visit, and handwritten notes. He responds well to clear boundaries. The next phase is realistic until Christmas. I photographed everything. When I put the phone back in, I felt an old cool courage rise up in me. I was not small, not powerless. I was Ramona. And I had a few more cards up my sleeve. I called the savings bank. Harold had always said paper strikes opinion, and had our documents meticulously secured by the notary king. In our locker was the pile that became my backbone, a notarized loan of 45,000 euros with interest, which Harold had given to Stefan and Zara for the purchase of a house. A cancellation clause secured in the land register in the event of serious misconduct against the lender. A basic debt that I could assume, and I had to laugh at a reservation of resignation that Harold had called Plan B in case people get funny. Notary King looked at me for a long time as I put the copies on his table. "Ms. Mertens, legally the glass is clear. If you declare the withdrawal, you can initiate the sale. Transfer of ownership today, registration of ownership follows. This is unusually fast, but quite safe if the buyers play along." I nodded. Then I need buyers. Thomas Brand, a realtor whom Harold had trusted, found a young couple 2 streets away who had been looking for months. They had equity, a banker in tow, and the firm will to move in before the winter. We set the appointment for Thursday, 14 o'clock. Zara had her curtain marathon that day. Stefan was in the field service. I went back to my 4 square meter kingdom, folded my few things, and left the portfolio project support untouched. In the evening, I played the adapted one, nodded when Zara said, "Dr. Peterman, you can have a look next week." "Very reasonable," I said. "I want to prepare myself." She smiled contentedly. I also smiled for other reasons. Right pointing finger, if you like this story, subscribe to our channel now so you don't miss any. Thursday. The city sparkled in the autumn light as Zara rolled out of the yard with color fans and sample folders. I took a taxi to the notary. We signed, gave hands. The buyers handed over a key folder. Thomas Brand had the new cylinders installed. The bank transferred the remaining debt from the purchase price directly to the building society. My loan plus interest to me automatically, as cool as just. At 16 o'clock, the house was sold. The property was handed over. The cool order of the land registry was in motion. I wrote a letter, put envelopes ready. For Stefan, the settlement with his share after deducting the old loan. A simple sentence for Zara. Attention, Residence Lindenhof is canceled. Then I closed the suitcase, looked one last time at the perfect sofa behind the glass, and dropped the key on the hall table with a soft sound. I was sitting in the taxi opposite when Stefan pulled up at 1810. His key no longer fit. The young couple opened, friendly, confused. Then Zara turned in, the back seat full of bags, the world full of curtains. I let the window down. Stefan, Zara, they turned around. "What's going on here?" asked Stefan Blas. "I used my right," I said calmly. "The loan is canceled, the resignation is declared, the house is sold, your shares are in this envelope, and Zara, your next phase is not taking place." Zara's face crumbled into dust and rouch. "You're crazy," she hissed. "You destroyed our lives. I got mine back," I replied, "and adapted yours to reality." Stefan stared at the notary copy. Harold's signature glittered blue. This was not a gift. "No, son. It was trust with conditions." I let the taxi roll in. Behind me, I see two people standing in a strange front yard, finally without a script. 6 months later, I was sitting in my little brick house on the outskirts of Hanover. 2 rooms, an apple tree, a kitchen in which yeast dough smelled like home again. Stefan and I slowly met again. He learned to ask questions before making decisions. Once he brought photos of Emma and Jacob with him. Their gap smiles broke my heart and put it together again safely. "Can we bake cookies on the weekend?" wrote Emma. "And I bring my stones with me," Jacob added. I wrote, "Yes, and we make the big ones with chocolate." Over coffee in my garden, Stefan said the word that we were both shy. "Will you forgive me?" "I forgive you for letting yourself be deceived," I said. "Not that you didn't feel. In the future, you will look." He nodded. There was respect in his eyes for the first time. In the evening, I put Harriet's photo on the windowsill. "Paper beats opinion," I whispered, "and courage beats both." When dusk came, the mobile phone vibrated. "The savings bank, its investments are developing well." I laughed softly. Freedom has many forms. An open kitchen door, an unoccupied bathroom, a grandson who asks if he can snack on the dough. I'm 60, and again I don't live in someone else's 4-square-meter cocoon, but in the room I built for myself. If you ever feel like you're being made small, you're bigger than they think, and sometimes a glance into the right filing cabinet is enough to turn the world around. White Fat Tick, did you like the story? Then subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so as not to miss anything.